In this video, I'm just going to teach you how to add a couple of the remaining families that we're going to need to complete this very basic office floor plan. So let's go ahead and start in the bathroom, and the restroom, and I'm going to place a component in here for the toilets. Now, you may have in opening up and bringing in families from your downloads folder, you may have lost this screen that leads you back to the Imperial Library for Revit. And if you can't find your way back to this, then what you need to do is open up an exercise from a previous module and do the same thing where you load a family. Hit this drop down menu and find this path here, and then you can go ahead and replicate that so that Revit goes back to its Imperial Library. Okay, so let's go ahead and also, a lot of times if you close Revit, save it, close it, and open it again, it'll bring you back to this. But if you've lost your way, it's pretty easy to just kind of replicate that file path. Now, we've opened up the furniture category here, but we now need to place a couple of plumbing elements. So I'm going to start with the MEP, which stands for Mechanical Electrical Plumbing, and I'm going to grab this this sink because it's for a wall-mounted sink, which is what we want. In your construction documents class, you will learn how to create exactly an ADA compliant restroom. I'm going to just kind of pop some things in right now, and that way you'll know how to do it, and then you can adjust as needed. But for right now, notice as I'm trying to place this sink, it's got that circle with the slash, and that's because it's a wall hosted element. So it needs to be stuck to a wall. And then we're going to go to same thing, place a component, and we're going to grab a toilet now. And those are actually, I like to use the one that's in the architectural folder. And this wall mount 3D is the one that works well. So see how it's bringing in the sink again? So I'll have to drop down and search for my toilet. Okay, now a toilet needs to be, the center line needs to be 18 inches from the wall face in order to be code compliant. So right now it's close, but I'm going to click on that toilet and I'm going to change this dimension to 18 inches, and it'll move over just a little bit. And now I'm going to, let's see, the other thing that I'm going to do is place some grab bars. And I'm going to place a component here, and these will be downloadable. I got them from the Kohler website. But again, I'm worried that I'm going to lose my file path here. So I'm going to pause for a second and just kind of make a little note of that, that path for me so that I've got it. So I'll pause for a second. And I'm going to go to my desktop and grab those grab bars that will be provided for you as well. And there's two of them. I'll grab the first one. Okay, so these are also wall hosted. And we'll put one there. And then we need the shorter one in the back and the longer one on the side. Let's see, there's the longer one. And this distance, I believe, has to be about 12 inches, at least. When it comes to where things need to go for an ADA compliant bathroom, I don't really store that. I just know where to look for it. Okay, and then all I'm going to do now is just grab and mirror these. Okay. All right. And as I've mentioned, I'm going to provide for you a very simple floor plan for the rest of these furniture pieces, but I do want to show you where a very basic kitchenette component is. So we'll go to Load Family. And you can see now I have to get back to my my file sorting to get me back to the Revit families. So I'm going to, I've got a little screenshot of it right here. You can see it. So this is what I'm going to replicate. So I'm going to pause for a second while I set all that up. Okay, resetting the pathway here did not work, so I just had to go ahead and close my Revit, save it, close it, and then open it again. So it resets by that method as well. The other thing that I wanted to show you, and it's really fun to kind of search through here and see where stuff is, but I'm going to go into specialty equipment here, into domestic, even though I know this isn't a domestic project, but I'm going to grab this medium kitchenette, and that's where the employee break space is going to be. So we'll go ahead and place that there. I'm going to hit the space button to rotate this. Okay. And then I'm going to, I also wanted to show you where we've got some desks and storage things in here as well. So we'll go up, back over to furniture. Now there's some furniture systems here with work surfaces, which are just the countertops, which you can play around with. I'm going to put a few of these desks in. See how it wants to be a kitchen. So let's go ahead and grab one of those desks. Now, I believe they come in as a 60 by 30. They're real little. So you can edit the type and make this a little bit larger. I'm going to make it a 36 by 72. And of course, I'm going to change it already. I already have that made, but once you've done that, I want you to go ahead and change the width and the depth. Okay, so there's my nice big desk. So I've edited that. I'm going to pause for a moment and kind of configure some of these desks and chairs that we already have in a simple arrangement, because this isn't a design class, this is a Revit class. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time messing with things from a design standpoint. But I do want you to know, at the very least, that that's where you can find some of the stuff, the seating as well. There's some interesting storage, you know, credenza things here. We'll go ahead and pop a credenza in here because we might need that in a little bit. And then I'm also going to grab a file cabinet here. Let's go ahead and do a short one for next to the desks. Okay. And there's also cabinetry here. If you're looking for cabinetry, base cabinets, counter cabinets and countertops, that's all here. Okay. And they're easy. You can just kind of create a base cabinet right here. Select which one you want. And then the countertops, I usually start with this one because it's just a generic shape. And you can place it on top of your cabinet and drag your grips to adjust the size. And this is the little tiny one. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second and create an arrangement, very simple arrangement with these elements here so that you can replicate it. And then your floor plan should be close to complete. Okay, so you can see my furniture plan is very, very basic. I'm imagining this right now as being one of those co-working spaces where you can just kind of pay by the hour to hang out and use a desk, and then rent a very simple conference room as needed to meet with clients. So these are becoming more and more popular. And so that's what we're going to be doing here. So you can see it's just a nice wide open space. Couple changes since you've seen the plan last. I enclosed this area by just extending this wall and put, it's just this basic partition and this 36 by 84 passage door. I did the same thing here with this wall and extended this wall and then added again that same single flush door. I placed our credenza here. This piece of furniture is cool because this one is a component and it's in the tables section, and it's this one. And when you place this table, you can select, for example, which size you want. And then all you need to do is edit the type and duplicate it. And then you can change the diameter and the amount of chairs. So it's really cool. I've used it here. I've got a 72-inch diameter one with 6 chairs. I've also added the countertop that I showed you earlier. I placed one here and stretched it, added some chairs, placed another one here and added some chairs to it. On the plan, it looks perfect for our purposes. In a camera view, it's floating, so it would have to be wall mounted with some brackets. You can see here I placed my table that was that original 36-inch diameter one. I placed a couple little poppy chairs here, and again that little 18-inch table for people to sit there. And then I put the very simple 30 by 60 desk. These chairs can be found in components. These can be found in the seating, and these are the task armchairs. So they're just real simple. So this is our floor plan. You can see I've moved the kitchenette around, but all of these components were the pieces that were already brought in. And so I want you to go ahead and place these, but I want you to not just arbitrarily place your objects. I want you to copy them and make sure that they're in the same location relative to each window. So I placed this one, moved it, and then I copied it and grabbed as the base point the side of the window so that when I moved it, they were in the same location relative to the windows. I also placed these chairs so that they were even. What's kind of cool is you can annotate. And if you pull that out here like that, you can see it's got all the different dimensions. And if you click that equal button, that little equal thing, they'll move. Yours, mine are already equal, but you can just kind of place them and again, place an annotation line. Annotation detail line, pull up and hit the equal sign there. You can see here, once that's placed, I just go ahead and delete those. These I placed and mirrored. You can see they're actually a little off center, so I'm going to mirror this one and pick axis. I'm going to have to draw it. That's because the table's off center. There we go. So I'm going to, instead of having those arbitrarily placed, I'm going to place them so that they are the same as this one. Okay. So just a very simple workspace. And I want to make sure that you've got the components all in there so that when we move on to the next section, we can start to get into applying some finishes.